Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got a new Cardfight Vanguard video for you guys today. And today we are checking out a deck I have never ever looked into. I was just not interested in it, but chat wanted me to mess with it on last stream, and I've been tweaking it, and I think I finally got the ratios right. So today we're looking at Diablos Venomance Bruce. And as much as I want to like this deck, it's got issues and bad ones. For example, Bruce does not turn on till turn 4 if you went first. It's live turn 3 if you went second. And a lot of its support is locked behind the condition Final Rush. I see what they're going for, but they made it clash with its older support, and then some of the older support requires the other Bruce, so it's like it's a pain in the ass to build this deck. But I think I got it. So we're gonna go do a breakdown, talk about the card choices, and then of course go jump into a game. So if you guys enjoy this kind of content, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's jump in and let's talk about the deck. First off, we have our normal ride line. Unfortunately, Bruce does not have another ride line, though I think it could use one. This ride line has been around since set 1 of Overdress, so that's pretty old. Whereas a lot of other decks, even from that era, have new ride lines. So Diablos Bad Steve, when it's placed on Vanguard, you call a card from your soul to the rear guard, soul charge 1. So normally the only card you're gonna have in soul is your starter, so you're gonna call your starter as a booster and soul charge 1. Second is Richard. When it's placed on Vanguard, you put a rear guard into the soul, you draw a card. So you're basically going to ride grade 1, call out Matt, ride grade 2, put Matt back into the soul, draw a card. That's all it does. It's not a great ride line. And while we could play some out of archetype ride lines, a lot of these effects require you to be on Diablos Vanguard. And if we want to be able to use them in the early game, we have to use this ride line because it's the only Diablos ride line. Anyway, let's talk about Venomance Bruce. So auto Vanguard, at the beginning of your battle phase, if all of your units have Diablos in their card name until the end of your opponent's next turn, you Final Rush. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you Final Burst. Final Burst is also considered Final Rush. So this is the condition that the Bruce deck has, fallen under, both now and before. Before, it used to be at the start of your ride phase, you would enter Final Rush, which would require you to be on grade 3 and then wait till your following turn. This allows you to get Final Rush on turn 3, which is cool. But that second part, if your opponent's at grade 3, you get Final Burst. That matters. Also, you only get Final Rush when you go into battle phase, so anything that has a main phase effect requiring Final Rush doesn't work. But you get to be on Final Rush in your opponent's turn, which does affect some cards. Second skill, Auto Vanguard. When this unit attacks, if you are in Final Burst, counterblast 1 and choose a column and stand all of your rear guards with Diablos in their card name in that column, and they get 5,000 power until end of turn. This is what I was talking about not turning on to your opponent's at grade 3 or turn 4, because you don't get Final Burst unless your opponent's at grade 3. That's a problem with this card. Also, it locks you into only playing Diablos, because in order to get Final Rush or Final Burst, all of your rear guards have to be Diablos, and then its second skill only stands a column of rear guards with Diablos. It's not good. It's not good. But thankfully, there's a lot of Diablos we can play, and I think I got a good balance. So surprisingly, the deck doesn't counterblast that much, so it's really easy to play around, and it has a built-in counter charge. But let's talk about the rest of the deck. So first off, we have one of our cool guys, Diablos driver Julian. Auto rear guard, once per turn. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, counterblast 1, and this unit gets power plus 2,000 until end of turn for each card in your damage zone. If you have a Vanguard with Bruce in its card name, soul charge 1 for every 2 cards in your damage zone. Choose up to the same number of cards soul charge plus effect from your soul and call them to open rear guard. You basically can attack, power up, and build a board. This guy is also the key to the big combo with this deck, which is why I decided to even try the deck. It tops out at 7 attacks, and it's not a super difficult setup. It's basically Julian and come out with this grade 1. The later the game goes, the more options you have. It's nice. Well, you want to be at 4 damage because he'll gain 8k power and he'll soul charge at minimum 4, and you get to call 2. Since for every 2, I guess 5 doesn't really matter. We have our Persona Rods. All right. Diablos Nuclear Jamil is one of our most important cards. If you are in Final Burst, it gets 10,000 power, 5,000 shield. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if your Vanguard is Diablos Venomous Bruce, counterblast 1, soul charge 1, choose up to 1 grade 3 or less normal unit with Diablos in its card name from your soul and call it to an open rear guard circle. This card is good because it helps us get rear guards from the soul. We have a bunch of cards to get our units back in the soul, and we have units that go to soul. So being able to get access to them is really, really important for this deck. The only downside is neither of his effects are live before turn 3. Diablos Rapid Carrier Gino. This is another really important card for us because this gives us 5 attacks. Auto from a rear guard when your Vanguard attacks if you are in Final Burst. So blast 2 for every 2 cards in your damage zone. Choose one of your rear guards in the same column as this unit and stand it. If you stand 2 units, this unit gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. At the end of your turn, if you are in Final Rush, put this unit into the soul. Choose a normal unit from your soul, put it into your hand. This card would be good if it wasn't for the fact that it needs Final Burst. So either you're going second or you're waiting until turn 4. This does nothing otherwise. Its second effect, it's funny because it's good, but it's also counterproductive because at the end of your turn, you put it into the soul, you get to get a normal unit from the soul. If you're using that skill, either you're not in Final Burst, so turn 3 is the only time you're going to use it, or you're in a bad spot because typically this is going to get retired for the cost of another skill, which we'll talk about in a second. It's an okay card. Unfortunately, we need to run it for that 5th attack. I just wish it did something more going first. Now, this card, Eli, is one of the most important cards in the deck. This one and the grade 1 we'll talk about later are the 2 most important cards in this deck. Because not only is this a really good card in the late game, this is a really good card in the early game. So when this unit is placed on rear guard other than during the battle phase, if you have a Vanguard with Diablos in its card name, which that's our right line, Energy Blast 3 the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 2 normal units with Diablos in their card name from among them, reveal them, choose up to 1 card with grade less than equal to your Vanguard from among them, call it to rear guard, and put the rest into your cards into your soul and shuffle. So top 7, call a dude, put a guard in soul, or you can put both in the soul, either or. There's no restriction on this. It's basically free because it's energy, and we don't use any energy for anything else. It's an absolute solid card. And then second effect, if you are in Final Rush, you get boost. If you are in Final Burst, you get 5,000. This is how these cards should be built. It's a 10k booster if you're in Final Rush, which you're going to be in Final Rush as soon as you get to grade 3. If you're in Final Burst, it gets an additional 5,000 power. This is pretty much how these cards should be. Without needing Final Rush or Final Burst, it has an effect that makes it useful. And then in Rush, it gets better. In Burst, it gets even better. This is a great card. This is a card I'm not too keen on. I might just take her out, but I wanted to at least try her out. This is the only card I haven't tried out. Auto rear guard when the attack this unit boosted hits a Vanguard. If you are in Final Rush, counterblast 1, put the rear guard of this unit boosted on the bottom of the deck, draw a card, choose one of your other units, and it gets 5,000 power. The big reason is it draws a card. This deck doesn't have a whole lot of draw power, so it's like I gotta try it out to see if the on-hit pressure is worth it. We have RPGs. Tailbacker Derek. This is another card I wish did more. It's okay. Auto rear guard. When you Final Rush, this unit gets continuous rear guard. During the battle, this unit boosted. When your opponent would call cards from their hand to the Guardian Circle, they must call 2 or more at the same time. And it gets power plus 5,000 until end of turn. But then at the end of turn, it retires itself. It's mandatory. So you have to be in Final Rush so you can get it turn 3. It has to be on the board when you get it, so you can't go into Final Rush and call it later. It gives the guard a trick. Your opponent has to guard with 2 guards. The good thing about this card is that if you stand it, the column with Diablos, now your opponent has to guard with 4 cards. Because they have to guard with 2 cards on the first attack or take a damage, restand, and do it again. That's the only thing that makes this good. It just sucks that it doesn't do anything else. So it's mediocre at best. All right. Diablo Striker Orlin. This is the other one of the other really important combo pieces. This is the trick to us getting 7 attacks. It also helps us get 5 or 6 attacks, depending on where we are in the game state. It also can help us get to 4 attacks if we're going first, because going first, this deck is locked to 3 attacks, besides with this card. Auto, when this card is discarded from hand during your turn or put into the soul during your turn, from deck to soul, I'm sorry. If you have a Grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Diablo Sands card name, Energy Blast 3, call it to an open back row rearguard circle. So, discard it for ride, you can call it. A good thing I love doing is using Eli to check top 7 to put it into soul and call a dude, and then you can Energy Blast 3 and just call him out. The card's really good just for that. Auto, back row center, once per turn, at the end of the battle that your rear guard attacked, if you are in final rush, retire 2 of your front row rear guards with Diablos in their card name, draw a card, and choose one of your back row rear guards, move it to an open rear guard circle. So, it's pretty self-explanatory. Kills 2 of your 2. You basically would swing out with your Vanguard, swing out with your rear guards, retire your front row, move something from the back row to the front, and then you can swing again. The cool thing is our boy Julian here. Julian plus this is what gives us 7 attacks. So if you have Julian in the back row, you'd have to be in final burst, so it'd be turn 4 or turn 3 if you're going second. You would go swing rear guard, swing Vanguard, restand rear guard, swing rear guard, swing rear guard. Orland, retire front row, move Julian up, swing Julian, Julian calls from the soul. And then you get another attack. But I might bump up Julian to 4 if I realize some of these cards don't work out, because of the fact that Julian just needs you on Bruce. So Julian plus Orland can still get you 5 attacks turn 3 and then 7 attacks turn 4. So that's cool. But I feel like Orland's still more important than Julian, as Julian still requires you to have decent targets in the soul. Anyway, moving on. Diablos Boys Hines. This is the other most important rear guard. In this build, in this current support, Hines and Eli are the 2 best cards, the best rear guards that Bruce has. So what this does is when this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a Vanguard with Diablos in its card name, choose up to 1 card with Diablos in its card name from your drop, put it into your soul. If you put a card, this unit gets 5,000 power until end of turn, and at the end of that turn, retire this unit. If your opponent is grade 3 or greater Vanguard, it gets 10,000 instead of 5,000. Doesn't care about burst or rush or anything for that. Just grab a dude from the drop, put it into the soul, gain power. You can have it as a 13k booster or attacker up to turn 3, and if your opponent's at grade 3, it gets 10,000, being an 18k booster or attacker. And then its second effect, when this unit is retired from rear guard by a card's ability during your turn, which it retires itself, or you can have it in the front row and retire with Orland. If you are in final rush and you did not countercharge this turn, Soul Blast 1 and countercharge 1. It's also our countercharger, and it's a really easy countercharger to use, considering we get final rush as early as turn 3. Now, trigger lineup, we're trying out Yellow OT. It was a recommendation from people, mostly because the deck doesn't have any retire and it needs draw power. So if our opponent retires their own rear guards, we get to draw a shitload of cards. Awesome. Same with why we're playing 4 draw triggers. This deck has a lot of combo pieces that we want to see. It doesn't draw enough cards to worry about deck out, and it doesn't superior call enough from deck to worry about deck out. 7 crit, 4 heal. This is the deck, guys. I hope you like it. Let me get your thoughts on the build so far, but let's go jump into a game. All right, guys, we got a game we're going first this time. This hand's pretty good. I'm gonna get rid of these guys just because they're not live till turn 4 because we went first. Bro, 2 heals though. You against Youth Perk. I'm definitely happy we went first. Skill is gonna call you out and soul charge 1. That was a good soul charge. So the problem I'm having with Bruce is that in the current state of the game, like, it's good that I can go second, but you kind of need to be able to go first or second. There's too many decks that you don't want to go second against, Youth Perk being one of them, because they'll just gain so much advantage. No guard. Though I don't think I even need any damage going into my turn 3. Alright, I'll hold on to this for turn 3. Maybe we can get some use out of that. But we'll drop this. Skill, this is gonna go to Soul. I'm gonna draw a card. That's a good draw. Main phase. Now we'll call out grade 2 since he's live early. Energy Blast 3. Look at top 7. We get to call 1 and put 1 into the Soul. So we're gonna put you into the Soul for later, and we're gonna call you. And then skill, we'll put this into the Soul. So now we have both of them in the Soul, and you gain 5k. It does It does retire itself at the end of turn though, so we do gotta watch out for that. So we're gonna go 10 here. That's fine. I'm gonna go 10 again. No trigger. Word. Word. And then it tries itself, and we're done. Well, we do have 4 attacks at a minimum going into our next turn because of this grade 1. Well, we don't have much of a board to call, and then we don't have anything to call from Soul. We have to see what we can make here. And the unit boosts, draw, choose one of your other units and gets 5k. Ivanka might make it so we can. It might. And we also have the Order in our grave. Okay, so they're playing the old Youthberg support with the new Youthberg support. Interesting. That means their turn 3 is going to be a lot short. Maybe not, because they already. Where's I thought they had Zest already in the Soul, but they must have Soul Blasted it. Or they added Zest to hand, which would be weird. Calling off the top 5, that's fine. They should probably take out my grade 2, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I should have guarded the first turn. We'll take that. Heal trigger's annoying because we want to rack up damage. And we didn't get a trigger. That's even more annoying. I guess we're going to 3. Yeah, I should have guarded that first turn. That was kind of dumb of me. Oh, I wanted that grade 2. Alright. Bro, 3 heals. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Can't get upset. Can't get upset. Alright, let's go reveal, remove. Let's look at top 5. We are at 3 damage. Do we want a Julian? I'll get to call 1. Or we can call this grade 1, which will guarantee us an extra attack. Like, I'm trying to think. What's our best bet here? We don't really have much else to call. But Julian can call from Soul. When this unit attacks a Vanguard Counterblast 1, this unit gets 2,000 power, and yeah. But I gotta think, like, what am I gonna put in my front row? No, this is probably just better. It just sucks that I don't have more stuff to call. You know what? I'll call Julian. Because it gets me a call. Oh, no, it doesn't work that way. Okay, so this has boost. I guess we'll do it like this. At least we get a draw here. Alright. Battle phase. This kind of blows. Alright, so this has boost, but I want to keep it because that makes our grade 1 live. So let's just go swing, skill, counterblast, soul charge, and we get to call 1. Let's call you, because then we can get some more targets in soul. Look. Top 7. We'll put you in soul. Alright, so that called you. Now Bruce, his is after a rearguard swing, so we can do it after this swing. So we'll go 21 to Vanguard. Twin drive. First check. Second check. Power here, crit here. Sweet. Now we're gonna go 28. Skill. Counterblast 1. Oh wait, I can't use a skill. All right, so this card's bad. This card's got to come out because she would retire this, so I wouldn't be able to use skills. So we're gonna use this, which is going to retire both of these. I'm gonna draw a card, and it's gonna move this up, right? Yeah, and then we can swing with this too. Thankfully, they didn't hit any damage triggers. I guess it would have depended on if they hit damage triggers or not. Because if they hit damage triggers on that second attack, I could have used her to draw a card, but I had to get 5. I mean, the 5K didn't matter. All right. Well, we got to deal what? 3 damage there and force a couple cards out of hand, so I think that was a pretty solid turn. I really wish I had Persona Ride for next turn because we have 7 attacks in hand. Unless he bottom decks Orland, which would suck, but it is what it is. Got to see what I can make off of what I have here. He lost a lot of his revolve forms, and a lot of his good ones too. Oh, the PG though? Oh, it's not. All right, so guys, just so you know, this is definitely a glitch because it's saying he's using Fergrosa's skill after this call. So this must be Fergrosa, not a PG. Slight glitch. This sometimes happens with Vanguard Pro. Swinging at me with 13. We're gonna guard that. Like, look, it's showing that he's still a grade 1. That's obviously not the case. Heal trigger. He also is not going into exist. Damn, we got a bunch of problems here. All right, so he's going into full blast. It looks like he only has 2 of them in the grave. So remind me how full blast works. So he doesn't have Zest, so he gets Gust, he gets Drive +1, and he can choose one of my rear guards to put to the bottom of the deck. Wait, what? All right, there's got to be another. Zest must be invisible. That sometimes happens too. All right, so Zest is invisible, but he has Zest in the soul. That's fine, we'll make do. Oh, you should not have done that. All right, so 23. We're going to guard this 43 for 2 to pass. He does get 3 drive checks. Oh no, he only gets 1. I forgot. It's 2 then 1. $33, we'll take that. Heal trigger, sweet. We heal 1. And we'll guard that too. Just because that deck can get some crazy numbers, I'd like to save on some damage. Oh. Fuck it. It's actually 40. Again, remember that's supposed to be the grade 2. Alright, I don't know if this is a good thing. Let's see if we can't figure out something here. Alright. Obviously we don't have Persona Ride, so we're gonna go to main phase. Now we can restand a column with Bruce. We could put this in the back row to move up. So we have 7 attacks on board. I just need to make sure I can do this with everything else. So we're gonna have to have Julian in the back row. We can call the grade 1 because it can hit. We can put the other grade 1 in front of this. All right, this grade 1's got to go. This grade 1's cheeks. Let me think. So we're gonna have to go like this. Call skill. We'll put Julian into the soul. We can use Julian multiple times. Julian can call himself. All right, hold on. We might have a crazy... No, because I'd have to be able to retire him. But I can move this Julian over here. Oh, God, this is going to cost a lot of counterblast. But if we can pull this off, this might be a crazy-ass turn. All right, let's go like this. Battle phase 16. That's fine. That's 18. Remember, that's a 13k. 18. All right, now we're gonna go swing, skill, counterblast, restand. I guess I could have swung with that after. Okay, that's supposed to be a PG. Sorry for all the glitches, guys, but all right. Twin drive. First check. Power hand we draw. Second check. Perfect. 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 All right, we're gonna go 18. All right, we're gonna go skill. Retire these. Draw a card, and we're gonna move. Does it say any open rear guard circle? Move it to any open, so we're gonna move it here. Now, if this hits, we can get even more. All right, so now we're gonna go swing, skill, counterblast. It's gonna get +8, and then we're gonna call another Julian. All right, skill, counterblast, bottom deck, draw, power +5. And now swing, skill, counterblast, power +8. He shouldn't have took the damage because now I'm calling. Call. This has power +10. But unfortunately, we have no persona. If we had a persona ride, this would have been crazy because we would have had an 8 attack turn that could hit our opponent. So we'll just take out the rear guard. All right. So we did an 8 attack turn. I've never had this deck do an 8 attack turn before. The numbers weren't great because we didn't have a persona ride, but the potential is there. So they did indeed do a persona ride. I hope you guys are okay with the messed up cards here. I am so sorry about that. He's soul blasting too? Okay, so he played another copy of Topaz. Playing 2 Topaz is crazy. A lot of people wouldn't do that. But he did get another copy of Felty. Well, Fergosa. I don't know if it's actually Fergosa. It is. Okay. So he's gonna put one into soul, and then he can soul blast again to draw a card. All right. 20k. Okay, we're gonna guard that with a draw trigger. All right, how much is the Vanguard? 23k. It's got Twin Drive, but it's for 1. I'm gonna no guard this because we're gonna want to guard the Vanguard. Maybe I should have guarded this. It's because that's a small ass attack. Never mind, we're dead. GG. Guys, well, unfortunately, I couldn't clutch out that game. We did get to see a little bit of potential of what the deck can do. I mean, an 8 attack turn, I didn't even mean to do that. I kind of just figured it out off the cuff with the double Julian, because choose up to the same number of cards soul charged by this effect from your soul caller. I did make a misplay. So because I was at 4 damage, I should have soul charged 2 and called 2. So that left side Julian should have been a bigger column, and then I would have called to the empty rearguard circle on the right. I would have only called 1 regardless, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, he did take that attack anyway, so yeah. Changes, this card needs to come out. This card is ass. It was never useful because it clashes too much with Orland, and Orland is a really, really good card. But you also got to see what I meant about how the deck struggles going first, because you have to be able to, you need certain rear guards to be able to push your opponent going first. I mean, I would probably just cut this, put Julian to 4 because this card's bonkers, and then figure out something else, maybe a defensive option, because the deck is definitely lacking in defense. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments, guys. Let me know how you guys feel about Bruce. Sorry about all the glitches on my opponent's side. It just happens with Vanguard Pro. It is a fan-made simulator, though we do appreciate Van Editor's hard work, because it's probably the best simulator we have for standard Vanguard. Guys, watch me on social media. Those links are down below. If you guys want to see me play some Cardfight Vanguard live, come by the next live stream. The next live stream will be Wednesday. Should be Wednesday, 11 a.m. But I will announce my official schedule this weekend, so keep an eye out for that. Until then, guys, I will catch you on the next video. Later.
In my eyes, I was born for this. I got demons on my side, doing right like this. I got reason to believe I don't need it from my gifts. Only I can change the world, let it go like this.